Every technical problem, Tony.
Yep. Absolutely.
While you were running, trying to run your tech.
Was valve out?
No.
Valve.
Almost there. Almost there. Almost there. That doesn't sound well.
There's a lot of things. Like Valve runs into technical problems a lot, so he knows how to. He's figured out how to solve shit.
Every single day, I'm gonna make something great. That's my way. Every single day, I'm gonna make.
Kicked out.
It kind of worked, you know. So I'm just trying to get it to work, right? There we go. That everything kind of worked.
What you got, Albert?
Oh my god, this sizing thing is driving me insane. I don't know. I'm just gonna use it like that.
Marco! I got the red.
There we go.
What's that?
Alright, I'm gonna shrink this just a tad like that.
Oh, hell. You don't have much to shrink, don't do that.
You know, I'm trying to do the best I can with this new camera thing that's not working.
New camera thing that's not working. Like
Yeah,
new camera software.
I changed the camera here. I changed the camera here, and
Hey guys, can you guys imagine with Tony being late all the time? Can you imagine if he had kids? He would never even show up for the show. He would never be on the show.
You know, I don't know. I don't know. I try my best to get this to work. Okay, I'm trying my best to get this to work. So, I changed the camera, and it's really annoying because it has a USB-C on both ends. USB Type-C on both ends, and the computer only had one USB-C legit port, like legitimate port. And when you plug it in, you realize that it's not delivering enough power to keep it going. So, on certain instance, the camera is working. On other instance, the camera is actually not doing anything, but you can't tell. Right? This is my issue.
So
right?
Is this is a new camera that you have?
Yeah, I'm using a new camera right now. And here's another problem. Because the camera has a 4K ratio, so everything is too tiny or too big, I had to kind of resize it.
Okay.
So you can imagine, there is some finagling going on.
That's what she said.
Finagling.
Yeah.
First word problems.
All right. Hey, I'm trying to get this to work. All right? I'm trying to get this to work.
That's our first world problems, right?
I mean, I try to put everything together the best way I can because, trying.
He's doing his best, guys. He's doing this for us.
I know.
Yeah. All right.
Who is complaining?
It seems like everybody's complaining of being late,
Tony's
but I already tried to work on this in the past 2 days. Okay, if you don't see me jumping in and out of the Discord tribal room last night by myself, I was testing the camera, and the only way to see myself whether or not I can see it is through another chat room to see whether or not you're working. So I can't even tell if it works. Right, I was working on it, and the other day, remember you guys had to wait the 20-something minutes.
24 minutes to be exact.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
damn.
So,
Who's counting?
right, but that actually because this camera triggered it to go streaming, and it streamed without my permission. So there was streaming set up, and no one's there.
Wow.
Yeah. And with that setup going on right now, I don't even know if this sound thing has issues. So last time we tested out, there's no duplicates. But if somebody listens to this stream right now and hear echoes or whatever, you let me know. I don't know. I might have to come back to watch it again.
Okay.
So, but yeah. So this is what's going on, right? This is what's going on. Okay.
All right.
All right. We're good.
We're good.
Well, when are you going to
I'm
turn
the
your
best.
camera on?
Huh?
When are you going to turn your camera on?
The camera is on. Well, I know you can see my camera because I can see it through your glasses. Your glasses has sold you out on that one.
Oh, there you go.
Fair enough.
All right. So now I need to find something to smoke, of course, and then we can start talking about today. What should I smoke?
A cigar.
That cigar. That cigar.
Yeah, that one.
Good idea.
Cigar.
Great idea.
Just close your hand. You just close your eyes and reach your hand in there and grab something.
Really? That would be a bad idea.
Under there. Under there.
The other one, not that one.
Not that mustard. Use that mustard. Use that mustard.
What?
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
Family
Not
Guy.
there.
It's from Family Guy. When Meg goes underneath, or when Meg, like their house gets broken into, and Meg's going to make a sandwich for Peter because she's gonna go check, and he's like, said, make a sandwich. He's making him a sandwich. He's oh no, not that mustard. Use the other mustard. Use the other mustard. And they can capture. Or
What is this? Queen
I must
bee?
have missed that
Yeah.
episode.
You know what? Since I got a queen bee, I'm gonna smoke a queen bee. How's that? Fair?
Okay. That'll work.
Yeah. I'm having a headache today too. I don't know why. Might be the weather.
you're having one, like you're gonna birth a headache.
I'm having a headache at this moment.
I'm having a headache.
Did you eat? Did you eat enough today?
I definitely eat a lot.
Did you drink?
I ate a lot,
Okay.
but I think it's a temperature issue. Today in the morning was, I think, close to 50, and then now went back to 20s.
What?
wow.
Their fluctuation, yeah.
Yeah, I think
Dude,
that's
it's like
what.
it's like 80 some degrees the other day. What the hell's going on?
Yeah,
It was cold here the other day though.
and
was
it
like,
doesn't
yeah, it was
help
like
to
only got
hear
like-
to hear about the weather, and then you really is thinking about I wish there's warm weather, and then your mother-in-law calls you up and says, "Let's go to Alaska next year."
Yeah. Yeah, hell yeah. Let's go to Alaska. I want to go to Alaska.
It's cold.
So, but
Here
I
we
want to
go.
see it.
All right.
Hey, Tony.
What's up?
So you wanted to come to Texas next year. Next April, we're having a total eclipse, and Plano is in that. My city's in that. What do you call it? That area where it's going to be total darkness.
Of the heart? Total eclipse of the heart?
What we're talking about?
Yep.
April. I'm pretty busy.
Well, just
Thank you, Val.
Dude, April is like the end of the first quarter. It's busy as hell, yo.
a thought.
If I'm
You're
gonna
just
go
jealous
there,
'cause
it'll
you
be
don't know
like
that song, Martin.
February. I don't
Hey,
know. Like I have a urge of not thinking about traveling right now because I've developed a mental like I don't want to travel.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Did you get the picture I sent you, Tony?
Which one?
Of
mean,
the cherry blossoms.
Oh, you know.
Oh yeah, you did. I did see that. I did see that. I
So
did see
like
that.
those are like all throughout the park. So it's been packed in my neighborhood, like where there's no parking. It's been like miles and miles of traffic for people to go see those damn trees.
I mean, it looks good. I'm not saying that it doesn't look good. It looks good. But I grew up with that shit, so.
I was gonna say you still scared about coming over here and getting jacked.
Yeah.
Would be too.
So how's everybody doing? Did you guys had a morning session today?
We did.
I was working.
I was working.
We had a morning
Yeah,
session.
I spoke to Maurice for like an hour.
Oh, okay, okay.
Thanks.
Oh, did you? That was cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. So not bad. All right.
Yeah.
Albert, how's everything? Why are we smoking today? Why are we smoking today right now? All right. So Reno, Espinosa. That's at the 10 years. Oh my god. Oh my god. Put that down. Put that down, Val. Put it down. Put it
Oh
down.
my God.
I'm
salted
smoking
my
the
eyes.
Art of Magic.
Put it down. Gee.
S&P Red.
Ah,
What do you think,
Is that the
Val?
red? Is that really the red?
Oh
Yes.
shit.
Mhm.
Somebody went Opus X.
Oh man,
Martinez bougie now.
you must really like cedar.
And
you know what?
Innocent, what do
Say,
you
that's
have?
gonna taste like a fucking tree.
I got the Art of Magic.
Innocent. I was gonna. Well, since
So I'm having a queen bee.
Go ahead, Val. Go ahead, Val. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. I see you. No, I see it in your face. Go ahead, yo. Go ahead, man.
burnt
No,
wood.
go for it. Nah, go for it.
Burnt wood.
Like-
Burnt wood. Right off the bat, burnt wood. Not
Brentwood,
What's
Burnt-
wrong with that?
burnt.
What?
like
what,
OJ
what
said,
type of wood?
burning. It's smoking hot. Burnt wood.
like OJ Simpson, Brentwood.
Go to hell, Quicks.
But I'm gonna give it a
I
chance
can't even see
because
that.
I'm that kind of guy. I ain't gonna.
No, I thought you
I'm
already
not
gave
gonna-
it a chance the other
I'm
day.
not. Wait, I'm
When
not
you-
a 2-puff tosser like some people I know. I ain't mentioned
Two
any
bucks
names.
awesome.
Hey,
Wow.
hey,
Wow.
hey,
Wow.
hey,
Shots
calm down,
fired.
calm down. All right,
Two
this
bucks
guy,
awesome.
this guy knows what he deserves and what he wants. Okay,
Wow.
What are you, a woman?
I'm better than that. I'm a womanizer.
Oh my goodness. Are you Michael Scott now?
I know what I want. All right, so you know,
Uh,
if you take
Tell me
two
what you want,
puffs
what you really, really
and you
want.
know you don't like it, you put it down.
Spice Girls now.
Right?
You're not
Jeez.
gonna give it a chance to work through.
There are things that's worth a chance. There are things that are not worth a chance. But if
Yeah.
if it tastes like shit in the first 2 puff, it's gonna taste like shit the next 5 puff. So
That's
Yeah,
not always
yeah.
true. That's not always true.
That's not. You got to give it a little.
that's not
Gotta
always
get it a
true.
little.
Wait, okay, so that's not always true with Drew Estate, or that's not always true with all cigars?
All cigars. I've had ones that when I first lit them up, I was like, "Wow, this tastes like trash," and then get about less than this far in, it actually starts getting kind of good. So it depends, because sometimes when they're in transport, your foot, the foot of the cigar will get a little bit, it will get a little bit hotter or drier or something like that.
But to my defense, right? We're talking about 20-acre farms, and a lot of people actually did tell me that wasn't a good cigar to them. So
It's nice.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's-
I finally
that's
had
what it
one.
was.
It's not that great.
That's
Yeah,
what it was.
So
You
I
already
was
heard
able
about
to tell that on 2 puffs. You know,
You already heard it. You already heard it. You were biased.
Yo,
What do you
Martin,
mean?
what happened, kid?
No. I didn't hear about it before I started smoking it.
That's true.
But you also knew it was Drew Estate. So
No.
it was biased.
No.
No.
I was not biased before I started, and then after that, I talked about it after I smoked it, because I was open to try it. Like Val saw me, I bought that one to open to try.
Yeah, I was sitting there watching you. You took like 4 puffs of it. You're like, this is not worth it.
Yeah. So
Was it 2?
no, there was
Whatever.
more than 2, because when I light it, I already have 2 puffs or 3 puffs.
You probably-
Hey, you're
When I
talking,
light it,
you're
it takes
talking
2 free
about
puffs.
a low vision smoker here, buddy. I only saw 2.
okay.
Could have been
Oh,
4.
All right, if you light it up, you need at least 2 puffs to light it up. Come on,
Okay, so three
You-
puff,
Could have been 4.
you
Could've
need
been
at
6.
least 2 puffs to even light it up. So 2 puff is not
three
correct.
puff, 3 puff Tony. All right.
All right, when you see me puff and lighting things up, I usually puff a few puffs before I count that as lit. Right?
3 puffs,
Yes,
Tony, is
Martin.
better than being a 2-pump chump or something like that. So
Yes, Martin.
But,
I already
you
said
know,
yes,
it
Martin.
was-
What do you want?
It did surprise me.
okay.
It did surprise me.
So the one you're talking about, that 20-acre, I let one sit in the humidor for a year. It's not bad after a year, I'll say that. But when I first smoked it, it was disgusting. But
Well-
it turned into not so bad.
That's
Yo, Marcy,
Why-
you might like all your fingers,
subjective.
man. Some Jewish stay
Subjective.
homers might come for you.
Well, the
Subject-
point is that to my defense, in the end, that cigar wasn't that good anyway.
Mm.
So I made the right choice.
I mean, right. Or I would never buy a box of it.
Right?
Yeah, no.
That means my palate did not
Wasn't
fail
bad.
me at that day. Even if I only took 2 pop, 3 pop, 4 pop, 2 pop, I still did it.
Too puff, too sure. That's right.
Right? So, you know, I
Two puffs too many.
yeah, you know, hey, when it comes to something bad, even 1 pop's too many.
But they did surprise me because I have never seen anyone do that.
Oh, I have.
But again, you have to remember, I was new to the smoking experiences and journey, and Tony took a puff. He looks at the cigar, makes a little face, takes another puff, and that was it.
I saw somebody in this family do that one time, and it made me laugh because it was.
No, I don't know. Like for
it's
me,
hilarious.
like I'm gonna suffer through it just because I'm like I pay my money. If somebody gave it to me, then I'll throw it out. But if I pay my money for it, I'm like, nah, fuck that.
It's the
I'm
other
too
way
cheap.
around.
I'm
If somebody give it to me, I'll give more chances to that because I had
Oh, yeah.
respect to the person who gave it to me. But if I pay for it, I think I'm worth to not suffer. I like, you know, it's one of those things, like, you know, if you kick or if you step on a Lego, right? A pile of Lego, it hurts, right? And somebody say, would you pay $5 for that pain to disappear immediately? You're like, hell yeah. It's kind of the thing, right? Would I pay $10 so I don't have to smoke this cigar? Yeah. Okay, there you go.
I'd tough it out. Personally.
Yeah,
What?
I would tell because like I'm like fuck. I just paid $17 for this 20-acre farms. I might as well get my money's.
Yeah, but I'm gonna
know?
ask myself, would I pay myself $17 for not smoking what I don't like? Yeah, I would.
It was $8 stick, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like 12. It was like 12 bucks.
Yeah, like regardless the
Yeah.
price is, regardless the price is, I because I don't even remember what the price was. But like, would I pay myself that money to not suffer? Yes, I would. Right? So, you know, that's how it works. When somebody
just
gives you a cigar,
expensive
you out of the respect of the person who gave it to you, you try to tough through it as much as you can.
Yeah, the only cigar I do that to is a Perdomo champagne. That's the only one. That's the only one that gets 1 puff and
God,
put down.
man.
You know how many cigars I suffer through because Innocent handed to me from this
That's
specific
cool,
shop?
man.
Yeah.
So far, man, every live we've been on, he brings up champagne. You notice that?
I'm just listen, like
He actually likes champagne more than he knows. Because every
I'm
night
gonna
he
get
want to
you a
talk about
shirt.
it.
I'm gonna get you a shirt, man. A champagne, Perdomo champagne shirt.
nah, you know what? Like, you ever hear the song about Chris Rock? The Champagne Room.
No,
Yeah.
You know,
no.
No, I'm gonna get you a Perdomo champagne
like
shirt.
you don't go to the champagne room for champagne. You know, but
Wrong type
but-
of
but-
champagne.
I'm waiting for this to tie into the cigar. I'm waiting.
Oh, it's
Well,
not.
no,
No, me too.
No, we're off in the woods. We're off in the weeds. I mean,
oh shit. Okay, all right. The joke won't tie in.
We're off in the Serengeti back there, fucking lost.
Hey, did
I'm
you
like
guys say hi to
totally
Jeff?
lost. I have no idea where this is going.
Neither do
Not
we.
to mention, I never heard the song,
That's
so
the
I
problem.
never heard that song before, so I don't know.
At the end of the day, it's a
No,
shitty cigar. I'll leave it there.
Yeah,
but if I get
okay.
you a shirt, then people can say, "Hey, what you like champagne?" And then you can tell them all about how you hate it, man.
But
So, like,
Innocent,
it'll work. It'll hook.
Innocent. I know you don't like that cigar, but it seems like that's the only cigar that you can name when you talk about the cigar you
Yeah.
don't like.
Well, because
Right.
I like a lot of cigars, so it's like the thing about it is like I'm not too harsh of a critic when it comes to a lot of cigars.
If
So,
you
like,
criticize
I'll give it a
champagne,
pass.
you are a harsh critic. Because
Yeah.
a lot of people
Because it's
started out
shit.
with that
It's
cigar.
garbage. Yeah, it's super
A lot of
garbage.
people start out with that cigar, man.
I know.
Yeah, but and I want to go and smack that cigar out of their hand. And
Nah.
You would, as someone
Like-
as a beginner, want to try something like that. You will smack it out their hands.
so I would say this, like, you know, if I was at my home base I would go and grab a CLE Connecticut and say, smoke this instead.
Wow.
Wow, that's
I
tough.
don't remember.
I would,
that
I,
very much.
I would go with that. I would give him a Charter Oak.
That's tough.
Charter Oak.
Yo, Charter Oaks are good, man. I'll give him a Charter
Charter
Oak
Oak,
Connecticut.
I like that one.
You know,
I mean,
You know,
I
and
gotta
it's-
give credit
it's
to I gotta
$6.
give credit to Champagne because it helped a lot of people start out their cigar journey because it's not everybody can smoke something strong when they start.
It's the champagne of cigars, man.
Yeah.
it's a champagne. It's a champagne cigar. That's what it is.
Wow.
Have a
That's tough.
have a
No.
Perdomo champagne and a Miller High Life. That's
No,
a
no.
match made in heaven for those people.
Budweiser's a champagne of beers.
Why,
isn't it?
why not a Bud Light?
No.
Miller High Life is a champagne of beer.
Miller High Life.
Cheap beer. That as far as cheap beer goes, that's my favorite cheap beer, which is really weird.
I think
Even though I don't really like beer.
I think that about Bud Light. It's just
Well,
super light.
well, anyways, we won't go down that rabbit hole. Are you still buying? Are you still buying Bud Light? Are you still buying Bud Light?
I still buy Bud Light because I don't give a fuck. That's my motto. I don't give a fuck. You know that.
Well, while we're on it, as usual, show and tell time. Patch.
I know it looks good.
Oh,
Nice.
It looks good.
Hey, why does it look like you have a filter on?
What?
You look like you have a filter on. Is that
Joker?
the camera settings or something?
Oh, he got a haircut, so he looks.
No.
Looks
Like it looks like he's got a filter.
He didn't
on.
have time to put his
Instagram.
pen.
Filter? No, there's no
Like a
filter. This
Instagram
thing is
filter.
so like 4K HD that I wish there was a filter to make me look better.
He
You
he
know
forgot to put on.
But the only
gotta put on-
I do see it refocusing a lot that camera though.
It's
Yeah, I
because
do
the
too.
software is not working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He forgot to put on his pancake maker.
Once the software is working, I can keep it at one focus and that it won't keep refocusing.
What kind of camera is it?
I was
That's
gonna
the Facecam Pro.
Oh, okay. The Elgato one.
Yeah, and then it has some serious requirement. So I might have to buy
Yeah.
a new video card to go with it. I might have to buy a new port.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
Wow.
that's what the requirement is. Like I literally the USB-C Pro on this thing will not support it. It will not like the software just don't find the camera at all because it's not enough power.
So like
going through it.
is that was it 250 or 300?
It was like $399 or something like that.
Wow.
So
Why didn't you just? Oh my goodness, just DSLR instead, man. You're already most of the way there.
I have one, but what happened is I'm changing my setup a little bit to move this thing over, and having the camera in front is a huge thing that comes out like a stand just so
Okay.
that to work.
Oh.
Are we going back to the couch days? Is that what's going on?
Maybe I don't know.
Mike just came up
I
with a
want to
great
move
idea.
this. I want to this. Okay, the table that I'm on right now, I told you guys, is like falling apart. So I literally had to take this apart and move it away. Now, if I move it away, I had to put another table together, and I was thinking to put it in the middle, so that I will be right next to a bookshelf. I have easier access to everything else. So to do that, that means I'll be in the middle of the walkway. If I put a camera in there, there's no way to walk by it. So
You should do that though. You should.
But
you should cast the live from the couch.
but
should do.
James is good with tables.
well, here's the problem. I don't really want to call my studio backroom couches. No, there we go. Anyway, so yeah, I'll show you guys the patch.
Okay. So
Again, it's the
That's
same
funny.
way you can glue the back so you can have the Velcro.
Tony got it. Michael didn't. That's funny. That's
No,
good.
I got it. No, I got it.
You didn't get it. You didn't get
Yes,
it.
the backroom casting couch. Yes, I get
No,
all this stuff.
before
It's
he
stupid.
said something. You didn't get it before he said something.
So I want to
Yes,
show
I
it
did.
like this in an angle so
Yes,
you guys
I
can see
did.
that
I
this
shook
is
my
not
head when you
flat.
said that. You don't pay attention.
I watched.
I like that. That
This
looks
is
really
actually
good.
not flat. You can see the curve.
It's beveled.
So this thing is actually popped out a little bit. I don't know how I gotta show this.
Yeah, I mean, we can tell it's beveled.
So it looks like
Oh,
kind of 3D a little bit.
Can you
I
like make a hockey puck with our logo on it? That'd be fun.
There you go. Yeah.
So
And then
you
just
want a bunch of
throw
people
it
beating
in.
our logos.
Throw it into a hockey arena.
Stop
Let 'em
telling me
play.
what to make. I need to stop making this kind of stuff.
And then we're gonna be on the live TV and be like, "Whoa, what is that? What is that on the puck? Shadow Smokers Legion. What is that? Boom, we're famous.
Yeah.
Right, well,
Anyways, I
An
only
expansion
made
hockey team.
I only made 50 of these, and of
Nice.
that, 20 something is going to the event. This got to be part of the event swag. So yeah. So
Hell
if you
yeah.
go to the event, you will have this. Yeah, it looks pretty good. I like it.
All right, sweet.
You see, it's not that hard. This I went to a different vendor, and then like a month later, I have it in my hand. The other vendor took 3 months and didn't even produce me jack shit. I don't know
Yes,
how
you
hard
do.
that is.
American vendor, right? Like in America, right?
Canadian, I think.
Canadian. There you go.
Media.
Well, it's it's America Light. That's like the light beer of America's.
Right? Right? That was quick. That was quick, and it actually came out pretty good. It actually came out pretty good.
They don't even live like up north of in their country. You know that?
No, everybody's by the border or by the ocean.
Yeah, it is. They don't even
Yeah.
live up in the shit. Like
They're scared, man. They don't want to live up there. It's scary. They'll die.
Yeah, I
Canadians
know.
are soft, man.
Soft.
So yeah, that's
And Alaskans will do
something
it
to look forward to.
Because Alaskans are fucking Americans, man. That's why.
though. America.
Without discounting Innocent's effort, guys, you can go on booking.com, you can go on whatever, Expedia, whatever. You can find hotel at that same hotel for the same price. All right? Don't have to worry about that group discount because apparently discount sites have discounts. All right, just do that. Just do that. Don't have to worry about it. All right? And if you're gonna get a rental car, which I think we should have enough rental cars going around, right? Because we're all going to the same place.
You got one. You got one. Rob did.
Yeah. So
Me too. Me too.
and now I think it would be a good idea for Rob to not get the convertible because knowing us, somebody will jump out. So
That would be funny, though.
it will
We
be funny,
will
and
have
that's the
stories.
problem. That is the problem.
Or
That is the problem.
or Innocent could say something stupid and we'll throw him out.
That is the problem. You know what I'm saying? That is the problem because I can see it happen. Riding down the street and then somebody say something
must
and Innocent will be
go.
like, "What did you say?" And then he jumps out of the car.
I
Right?
used to have a dog that was retarded and he jumped out the car.
And
I had a dog do that one time as well. It scared the shit out of me.
like when I'm thinking about convertible, I'm more worried about people jumping out than people throwing things in. So yeah, no, I've seen so
Convertibles are
many
fun.
girls jumping out of the car. Like I've been to a lot of parties, okay? I've been to a lot of client parties. I see
Tony,
a lot of
I didn't know we were all a bunch of like adolescent like girls or something. I don't know.
no, and I see a lot of clients that throw parties that arrive in a convertible. And I see a lot of time when they are driving off, like, the girls just go crazy and they jump off the car. And they will fall and then laugh and climb back into the car.
Fucking stupid bitches.
I've seen a lot of those. So every time I see some girls sit inside a convertible, I slow down. I was like, she might jump out. She might jump out. And it's like PTSD now.
Only on Friday and Saturday nights.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know when they gotta go, that's funny. Boom, jumps out. I don't know if the guy's gotta drive and all of a sudden grab her somewhere inappropriate, and then she goes, fuck this shit. Open the door, jumps out.
Hypothetical.
Tony,
Yeah.
have you ever heard of a Chinese fire drill?
Chinese fire drill.
See, he doesn't know. That's probably what they were doing. You didn't fucking know it.
Huh?
No, at a stoplight, they get out of the car and they run around. They jump back in.
Oh, yeah.
It's called the Chinese fire drill.
That's probably what they were doing.
I had to be very careful when I think about, that kind of stuff. So, like, when you see a truck that ties things down like Final Destination, try to not drive behind it. When you see a convertible with a female, drive away from it.
I think Rob's going to have a cigar tax.
That wouldn't be too hard, would it?
That's not bad. It's not a bad idea, Rob.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
You could like, yeah, you could probably get your daily
Yeah.
in
That's a good
cigars.
idea.
Daily cigar, just one cigar per person. He got 5 a day.
Dude, that's awesome. That's a
It's
great idea.
also each trip, right?
Yeah, that sounds pretty good. Pays for gas. Gas are expensive nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Yep.
Michael, I'm gonna need you to bring me a bundle of short stacks, by the way.
Whatever. That'll work.
Michael, did you follow up today?
Yeah.
Good news? Bad news? No news.
No, he said he's gonna give it me on Monday.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Cause holiday and all that stuff.
Yeah, I just wondered.
So, quick question, Mike. Have you thought of expanding the short stack brand? Maybe add some new stuff to the short stacks.
Like an Oscuro or something.
Yeah.
Why?
Okay.
What's that question? Where's that question going?
No, I was just asking if he wanted to add more stuff to, because the short stacks are a good seller for him. So I was wondering if he was going to add more to it, just to see if maybe he can
The
move.
line opens up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what, Michael? Let me ask you this question and answer just as you feel. Okay. You have a few short stack going on right now, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And maybe in the future you might even have other cigars, whatever. Now, if you were to create ban for one of them, wouldn't you ban all of them?
Yes.
There you go.
Hey, Michael, I got an idea.
That
on the
went, that went straight over his head.
And that should answer, in a sense, why I talked about that last time.
Well, my thing is, like, here's the thing, like, but if he adds a band to it, he has to charge more for it.
The ban doesn't cost that much money when it comes to grand scheme of things, right?
Yeah. Marginal. Yeah. It would be marginally more. Marginally.
We're
It wouldn't
talking
be a lot.
about what, 20 cents,
We're not-
50 cents,
we're not-
maybe.
We're not talking the New Jersey, New York price here, okay?
No, we're not talking 75% tax and shit. No.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
not talking that.
Hey, Michael, I got a good idea on the band thing, though.
Okay.
All right. Just get one band and put them on all of them, because we'll know it's a Maduro because it's Maduro, color. And we'll know it's a Connecticut because it's Connecticut color. So we'll know like what they are based because we just know the color.
No,
Most
you can have a
people-
secondary ban with what it is, just like how Patina is doing right
Yeah.
now, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
but then once you create a band, you put on all of them because you're proud of your brand and you want your brand to be as many items as possible, technically, and that's how it works. You wouldn't
think
be
they're
like, you know what? I'm gonna create a band. I'm only gonna put on one of them or two of them out of the
Yeah.
five.
Only band. No, one cigar out of the bundle gets a band. Just one.
You know
Yeah,
how
you gotta
weird that
find it.
was. You know what I mean.
You know how long it takes to band them all? Shit.
And this is why I asked Innocence, like, if he's so proud of his product, Shanji is so proud of his product, why doesn't he ban the other two that was just naked?
Because those are the house, like I said, those right there are house blends.
Right, and
So
people ban their
you
house
can-
blends too.
You can ban the house blend though.
You can, but most places don't really. Every place that I've been to, they don't ban the house blend. Like if I go to, there's another spot in Newark called it's something tobacco. They have their house blend is not banned.
I think
Yeah,
Innocent needs to go to more
most stores have
places.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of shops are that way. If it's their house blend stuff, they're unbanded. They just have them in like the trays and whatever. That is very common.
So that's
Michael.
the thing. It's in the tray, and that's it. And also too, like when San sent the Habano, they're in a bundle package. So you're not expecting something like
But
in a box. It's a house blend.
Innocent, you're not talking apples to apples. You're talking about people with house blend, but they didn't go out and design a band because that's additional cost, right? But for someone
Yeah,
that
but
already
it's-
have a band, that's a different story. Someone that
Yeah, but
already have a band
two
design,
different-
it's
two
different story.
things though.
Well, and it would also depend if those cigars are his house blends are made at a different place.
So
Doesn't
I was
matter because
so-
you're sending the band over anyway.
Well, mine. My cost will just be having the bands done. They will put them on for free for me, but it's having the bands done is that initial cost. But yeah, it depends on the factory.
That's
So-
why I say it doesn't make sense for someone that already have cigar that are abandoned, they know how to do it. They just don't want to go back and fix it. and it's kind of weird. So
Well, a lot of companies when they do like their like secondary cigars, as far as like Oliva has Oliva seconds, those aren't banded. You know, because those are like their clippings or whatever. But but back to what I'm saying as far as the house blend, like 75% of place that I've gone to, their house blends are just regular out, and they'll tell you either they're Habano, Corojo, Connecticut, whatever it is, it'll be right there. But the house blend by itself is just
Yeah, Rojas doesn't
you know,
put a
I'm
band on
trying to
there.
compare the Sanji shop to a better shop, not the worst shop. You know, you're trying to
the hate
devalue it.
the hate is
You
real.
try to devalue. I tried to bring it up.
Real.
No, I tried to bring him up. I'm saying I'm comparing him to good shop that has everything done. You compare him to the shop that doesn't want to get it done.
No, but here's the thing you gotta understand: a house blend like a house blend is. Go ahead, Albert.
Industrial cigar had their
Ah,
blend had industrial on it.
Michael, just take a little guy cigar shop sticker, slap it on a bundle, call it a day.
Industrial cigars.
It's a house bundle.
See that?
It's a house bundle.
Well, industrial cigar. You know what? I'm not even gonna go there. I'll leave it alone. But
It's a nice place.
I'm not
Yeah.
gonna go get a drink.
Have you been to industrial?
Go get a
Never
go get
been.
a
No.
drink.
See, I'm
Oh, it's
trying
not
to
a
say
place,
that
bro.
I think Sanji shop is above one step above others because he can afford all that thing. He have no name brand stuff. Like he should be above others. So I'm trying to compare him to above others,
but-
not putting him down. Like if I don't give a shit, I think his shop is like piece of shit thing put together and no one cares. Then I wouldn't care about whether or not he have bands on, right?
But, you
all
know,
the
like-
shop that I think should, and I say they should, because especially they already have the band made. I mean, I've been bitching at Michael getting a band on all day, every day.
like like I said, like I went over to the cathedral down in Tampa, and they had their house blends, no band.
Again, I'm
You
trying to
know-
compare him to a better shop. You're comparing
Yeah.
him to worse shops. I'm trying to say his shop is a good shop. Did you not?
Yeah. I hear you.
And you say I'm a hater for this? Come on, man. I'm trying to say that his shop should have a certain standard because he's supposed to be a good shop. And then you're like, oh, I see all the other shops, don't have bands. Well, yeah. I mean, I see. That's like saying that, I think Innocent should go out with some cool swag and then wear a New York cap. It's like, I go to all those hobo places. They don't wear hats. That doesn't make sense, man.
Albert has a question.
Yes, Albert.
All right. So I smoked the Habano industry killer, I guess.
Yeah.
But I knew it was Habano because it was lighter. But
Yep.
then there was this other one. One had a pigtail and one didn't, and they were Maduro.
Yep.
A band would have helped me a lot. Just saying.
I try to say that.
I did the Maduro today though, without the pigtail.
Welcome to my world, Innocent. Now you know how this feels. See if you sold stuff, this is how it goes.
Listen, no. First of all, Mike, I've been getting beat up since Saturday. First of all,
Like we know the Hobgoblin because it's a box press.
I see. I've been getting beat up for I don't know how many years.
But
now,
I'm gonna tell you this: Cameroon versus
Only two.
here.
Only two, Michael.
I am to a
Habano-
point. I am to a point where
Habano-
Michael, if Michael said, I will put a band on, if you design it, I will go hire a designer and just design his band. I'm to that point already.
would you cover the cost?
I will cover the cost to design the band. Yes.
Oh shit. Okay. See, there you go, Mike.
Covering the cost of the band design is nominal compared to how much the bands are. Because you have to have like 10,000 made, 5,000 made.
Well, yeah, you can have 2,000 made just at higher cost, but if you make it as like a primary band and second band, all those bands gotta work eventually. They don't expire or anything, I mean, eventually you'll need it. I'm just saying. But when you needed it,
And
you just go, hey, Tony, I am thinking to put a band on all my cigars. I'm like, all right, say no more. Let's move on.
and you know what, Michael? As
What?
soon as you put a band on it, it's gonna taste different.
It will for some people. Like, this tastes like shit. Look at this guy's stupid fucking face on here.
It's
The
gotta
fuck?
taste. It's gotta taste like soy sauce assassin.
Ugh.
Yeah, that doesn't sound good.
Oh.
I'm just saying. You know, I would love to see Michael move to the next step, right? Stop bending his shit. But you know, that's what I'm saying.
We got lots of big steps to take.
I know there's a lot of big steps. You just have to choose which one to take, right? You know.
Well, you guys are the first priority, so we're taking the first big step.
Which
Anybody else drinking?
we are taking that step, right? We are
Yeah,
taking that
Mark.
step. So, but eventually, that step is gonna happen. I'm just saying, you know, bands are kind of important. I mean, to me at least. Not to everybody, but to me at least. Right?
I agree, Albert.
What did Albert say?
No, you text me something. I agree.
Most compasses are inaccurate
Actually, that's true. They're off by
by
about
certain
10
degrees. Yeah,
about 10 degrees in declination, right? Something like that.
they are, and then they continue to change. By the way, like every year it changes just a little bit.
Declination diagram.
So
Yeah.
I heard this thing that I thought was interesting, and I was talking to my wife about it. You can only use the term "I believe" if you knew it was not true to start with.
Okay, no. Okay. Are you talking you believed at one time it wasn't true and you found out it was true?
No, okay. So for you to say "I believe," it means that it's not factual, but you turn it out
You are
to
in belief.
agree with it.
You're in belief that
That's
it
still
is
not.
true.
That's still like 98% of science.
No, but then like here's the argument, right? And then my wife's like, "No, what do you mean by if I believe it, I think it's true." So
Right.
I said, "You will never go out there introduce your parent to someone else and say, I believe these two are my parents."
Okay, because that's a fact. You know they are.
Exactly, because if it's a fact, you don't have to believe it. You know so.
Not really. Hey, you could have got switched at the hospital at birth or something. Man, you don't know.
But then
I
that's the
believe
thing.
this
Then,
is my mom and
then,
dad.
It
then
happens.
but then at that point, you had to say, "I believe," right? If you know it was true, you wouldn't say "I believe." If you know for sure. But if you start to it was arguable, but you turn out to agree with it, then you say "I believe."
So no matter what, it's an assumption.
Right? So that goes to the transgender stuff where they say, "I believe I'm a boy, but I'm in a male body." That means they know it's not true, but they still do so.
If they believe they're a boy in a male body, they're right. That's how that works.
I mean, I believe I'm a boy in a girl's body or something, whatever that.
Well, they also
Yeah.
say, I
bunch of
believe a
shit.
man can get pregnant. So
Well,
That
You
has been
know,
argued about. That has been argued about too. You
well, see,
know?
now they're wanting to potentially be able to implant a placenta into a man. They're gonna
It
die.
wouldn't be functional.
I know.
They're trying to put a pig fucking uterus inside
There
of
you
it.
go, uterus. Yeah.
They're trying to
You'll-
say, okay, the argument is, if
We'll die.
if it biologically is, it should be in nature functional.
Yeah.
There's a shitload of guys that smoke placenta.
All right. So their argument is that some female cannot get pregnant, but in nature they could, right?
Like
So
a-
you would say that in nature that's possible. Just like you wouldn't say if somebody's missing a leg, and you're like, okay, now that's a different spectrum of human being because it's missing a
No,
leg.
dude, that was a great argument when he said that.
Right.
Like,
So-
so what you're saying is, so like
That's
if you're
afterwards,
somebody is
Albert.
born without a leg,
Matt,
that doesn't create a whole
amazing,
new
yeah.
spectrum of how humans are just because they're missing a
But-
leg.
Like a baby cannot go through an asshole.
What?
I'm too sober for this.
What did you say? All I heard was asshole.
A baby cannot fit through an asshole because if a man get pregnant,
Debatable.
that's
I'm just saying because
That's
I've seen somebody
debatable.
stick their head into an asshole, so I know baby will fit.
I've
Damn.
seen somebody do that.
Yeah, well,
Please believe it or not.
that's gonna be a shitty life for that baby then.
Literally.
Yeah, you wouldn't. I'm not saying how good it's gonna be. I'm just saying it is.
Wow.
You're saying that
Yeah,
I can't
there
say
are.
I believe Sanji cigars are crap because we all know it's true. Why?
Quick,
That wasn't from me. That wasn't from me. Okay, that wasn't from me.
Yo,
Some of them.
Quakes is the biggest hate. That's just hate. Quakes is a hater. All right, I got no. Oh man, yo, I'm like half a bottle in of some good stuff. So Quakes,
Like Placentia is a very popular cigar. Just saying.
Placentia.
A lot of
Placencia?
Wow.
yeah.
No, who
It's
doesn't?
but
Okay,
that's
all right, I want to
afterward.
know who does not like Placencia cigars.
What is it with y'all spelling finish wrong? I don't get that part.
The compass he's talking about is from Finland.
The finish line.
Oh,
In
finish
Finland.
line. I thought you said finish line.
That
Yeah.
would be a wrong spelling, but if it's about finish,
F-I-N-I-S-H.
yeah, then yeah. It's fucking English. Anyways, yeah, does anybody not like
Oh,
Placencia cigars? I'm not talking about Placencia tobacco here. We're talking about Placencia cigars.
Brandon.
Brendan does not like Placencia cigars.
Well,
No.
that's because there's different reasons for that. There's bullshit reasons for that. So
No,
Yeah,
I'm
there is.
talking about legitimately does not like.
I've never really met anybody that legitimately doesn't like them.
hey Cat.
Right? Because
I
we're
will
not
say-
talking about tobacco because they produce a lot of tobacco for all the other companies. So saying that I don't like their tobacco might ultimately smack yourself in the face when you find out the cigar you like is produced by them.
Yeah, like 80% of the cigars on the market are produced
Right.
by
That's the whole
Placencia.
point. Like, you take the band off and hand it to somebody, they'll smoke it. No, this is good.
So
As long as it's not the
The health blend, though.
I
not
mean,
the octagon or hexagon.
so like
It's so hard to keep up with this conversation.
I know, right? It's going all directions today.
All
It's all
over the
going
place.
all directions today. But that's good. That's fine. I mean, active conversation is
This
good.
is not. This is not a one. This is not a. This is complex.
You know what?
It's too complex for me.
I do agree with Albert though. The hexagon one, I didn't enjoy, but I do enjoy the box that I got from
Yeah.
Yazer. Yes.
Okay. While we're at this, Rob, since you're watching from the YouTube side, can you tell me that when they talk, do you hear echo? Because on my speaker, it's showing that their voice not only goes through my speaker, it's also going through my microphone. And I want to know whether or not you hear echoes, like somebody talking twice. Like it sounds like a stack of voice.
Like a voice.
Testing.
1, 2.
1, 2.
No, I'm just
Testing.
I need to know because it's showing on my screen that it's going through, and that has been driving me crazy because I tried to keep that down to 0.
Yeah.
0.
It's a negative.
Negative.
And also 0 cannot have
Negative 0?
existed too. By the way, 0 cannot exist.
Cannot exist.
Right.
Yeah.
It's the absence of nothing. So,
Yeah, but by having the word 0,
then it
you
has-
already have something. So it cannot exist.
No, Val. It's the absence of nothing. So that way there's something.
Exactly.
Because 0 is an absolute, as we know. So,
Right? So 0 cannot exist. And human can absolutely cannot comprehend the negatives. So
There are a lot of negative things happen. I have a hard time comprehending them sometimes.
no, like when somebody say don't think of an elephant, you'll think of an elephant. You cannot handle the negatives.
Right.
Like our brain will
Right.
try to process it, but by processing it, you cannot. You're already undoing the negative.
You know, the other dumb thing that I heard when it came to all that stuff is I was watching this debate of trans dudes versus real dudes and whatever.
Sure.
And this trans man, so this lady,
Person.
this lady, no, this lady.
Person.
I'm non-PC. This lady said,
Person?
essentially, you know, like ovaries and testicles are like the same thing.
Technically, they are.
No.
Yes, scientifically, they are.
And I was like, they produce 1 egg a month. We produce like millions of fucking sperm every time.
Right, but what?
Millions.
Okay,
I get the base, but that is a stupid comparison.
it is because scientifically our hormone changed the function of them, so they are different function. But essentially, at birth or at the creation of the baby, it actually unravels at the end from the
Yeah.
X and Y chromosome. But it's actually it starts out as an ovary.
Fuck you, Quakes.
You just not read that?
Yeah, I did, man.
But
Motherfucker.
but here's the thing, though. I really think that I'm glad that cigar isn't this complicated. Right? Cigars, either you like it or you don't. Technically, in our theory, right? Doesn't matter what the flavor is. It's either you like it or you don't. Right? It's how many cigars that we actually smoke that go, I don't know if I like it or not.
It's rare.
It's a rare leaf.
So Val, when you smoke a rare leaf, you're like, I don't know if I like it or not.
It's got to be medium.
Because I have like I will smoke the cigar or I will put it down.
Yeah. There's been a few every once in a while where I gotta try it a couple times to really make sure.
Right.
I'm like,
You can try, like, that's like giving a chance because you knew that at the first or second chance you didn't like it as much as you should, what you want to.
No, that's called him buying like 10 boxes of it and hoping the fuck he can sell it.
But that's
Maybe.
what it is, right? Because like if you say if I gotta give a few more chances to see if I like it, that means the first few chances you didn't like it.
Oh, hey, Val, how's the cigar now, Val? You're halfway
That's
through.
be real.
Mellowed out.
I'm sorry.
Like, was that statement? Would that statement not be not true? Like when you smoke a cigar, you say I gotta give it a couple more chance to see if I like it. At that point, you already know you don't like it. That's why you gotta give it more chance to see if
Not
you
necessarily. Not necessarily. There might have been one small aspect of it that wasn't up to what I was expecting.
Right, but it wasn't enough for you to say I like it, and I'm gonna keep buying this. I don't have to try it again and again. Like if you give it more chance, that means you didn't hit the mark, right?
But I've had that happen though, where I thought I like it right away. I was like, oh, this is really good.
Mhm.
And I smoked it a couple times after that, and I had it was a lot less luster to the appeal of it.
Okay.
That's how the what's that cigar by Espinosa? Comfortably Numb. I
Yeah, it's a
fucking loved
terrible
it
cigar.
that first time I smoked it.
Terrible cigar.
I loved it that first time, and then I smoked it again 2 times later. I was like, this is not that good.
that could be a human error, and also could be your the taste bud change.
Well, it also could be, like you have something going on with
Your mood for the day.
your.
I mean, yeah. So the
that
first time I
or
smoked
previous
it,
cigars you smoked.
yeah.
There's different factors that can kind of come into play with that.
I smoked a Gurkha before it, so everything tastes better.
I'll say this, man, and
I'll
I've
tell you
told
this.
Martin this before.
Smoke a Gurkha on a day you're having a fucking excellent day, and then tell me if the cigar is good or not.
No.
Sure would be, yeah. All right, so get this, and I've told Martin this before. I always felt like the whole I'm going to smoke this for the first time on and make a video out of it. I don't know if that's the best way of doing it. I think a cigar reviewer should probably smoke it once and then smoke it again and review the second time.
But first impression is very important, right? Like when you do a review, you're doing a first impression.
You can talk about your first impression while you're smoking it for the second time.
So Half Wheel does that. They smoke 3 cigars, 3 samples.
3 times. So does Cigar Aficionado. They do the same thing.
But
That's what I'm saying.
That's the problem too. If I don't like a cigar the first time, I probably wouldn't buy it the second time.
Well, then you
they
can
try
say,
to
hey,
give you an accurate description.
yeah, and that's fine. I mean, and then you can say, hey, you know what? I was going to smoke this one, but it sucked. So then I'm doing a different one now. There you go. Done.
Do I do that a lot?
Quick review.
I mean, a lot of times that I smoked a cigar, it was because I had 1 cigar of that.
I mean, I think that's the difference between a publisher, which your cigars are probably paid for, versus you had to go pay for a cigar and you don't like it, you have to buy it again to just put it down.
Are you
I know Half Wheel pays for a lot of their cigars.
Right? I think that's the difference, right? Reviewers like me or Martin will either have to pay for it or somebody give it to us. But if you don't like it, you got to go pay for it again. That's a tough call.
Yeah, true. No, I wouldn't. That's what I'm saying. I wouldn't even review it if it sucked.
But you wouldn't know until you smoked it the first time.
It'd be a 1 minute
But
review,
you wouldn't
man.
know. because there's one time that I did not like a cigar. It was the Murcielago the first time I smoked it, but I've had it many times since then, and I like it.
Yeah, but then again, you come to get that cigar many times after, and that's the thing, because you have available to you. Then you can do a second review. But if you have one cigar, you reviewed it the first time, you didn't like it, you gotta think twice whether or not you want to spend that money again just to do the review. We're not talking about you enjoy it. We're talking about reviewing it.
See, I'm glad I broke you into that liking Murcielagos. You're welcome.
Right? Like if you smoke one Murcielago, it absolutely sucked, and then you call Michael's like, this cigar sucked donkey balls. And Michael's like, you sure this is pretty good? He sent you another one. Yeah, and you do another review on it, revisit. Michael sent me another one. I smoked it again. Right? Same thing with the War Fighters. Remember, I was having so much shit, and I wouldn't have paid to get another set. But because I received another set, I give another fair, review on it. Right? Mm-hmm. That's because I didn't have to pay for it. If I had to pay for it, I probably wouldn't buy it. Yes, Innocent.
So just a quick question on Espinosa. So like with Guy Fieri now being in there, how long do you think he's gonna partner as, like, do you have any insight on how far he's gonna partner, how long he's gonna partner with Espinosa as far as making cigars?
I think as soon as long as they're making money, it'll be indefinite.
Yeah, it depends on how many line extensions they want to do, because they don't want to get it too broad.
Like I thought he donated all those proceeds.
All the proceeds go to his charity.
So I don't see there was any chance for him to say no, do not continue to donate to the proceed over, unless Espinosa don't want to make that anymore.
No, Espinosa I don't think they'd want to go too many line extensions with that, because it just makes their catalog unruly, and it's already kind of a pain as it is.
But that's not what Innocent's asking, right? So how long will he continue to partner up with them, right? So it would be indefinite as long as that continues to contribute.
Yeah, no, as long as it's making money, they're happy. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because his name alone is bringing a lot of eyes to Espinosa that never even heard of.
Yes. I mean, it brings some eyes, yeah.
I mean, it's nice that it goes to a charity, and props to him,
It brought a lot of eyes, Martin, a lot.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
That just means that. Wait, it brings a lot of eyes to Guy or a lot of eyes to Espinosa?
Espinosa.
No, Espinosa.
Oh.
Because he's a chef.
He doesn't need the eyes.
You don't realize. But a lot of chefs and people, that are really foodies and stuff, a lot of them are cigar people.
I'm not trying to devalue him or anything, but chef is chef, man.
Oh,
no, I understand that, but you gotta understand, he's got the presence and all that.
Sure, I mean, he's got that personality. Yeah. I mean, I watch his show.
He single-handedly created the Food Network.
I watch his show. He goes out review like the dine and whatever.
Yeah.
I watched it, but like all the shop that he goes to, I like the one that I can go to and try. Didn't taste good. I don't know. So kind of discredit him for me a little.
Side note.
And I know it's a show. I mean, obviously, when they do the show, he probably doesn't go scout out those places that they have another person go there who can film here. And he had to say that tastes good, because I don't think I ever seen him go to one and say that tastes like shit.
So this is what I heard from one of the on my job. Sorry, Albert, give me. They said if he don't like the food, he'll stuff it in the side of his mouth. So this way he doesn't have to chew or swallow it. So he'll take it and like pack it in the side of his mouth, and then like once the shot is done, he'll spit it out.
Yeah, but so that kind of discredit him for me a little bit. That's why it's like a chef is a chef. If a chef that cannot tell you the truth, it's really a good chef or not?
But some dishes are just shit.
Well, they're not going to go to a diner and he's going to spit it out in the diner's shop. I get that.
No,
to the credit is, I mean, he's going to a diner, not like 5-star hotel, So, but still.
Yeah, but you will see him try to make little changes in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's still a puff piece, no matter what.
Yeah, I have a problem with his honesty about food
More,
and
but
using
it's
influence
more
like that.
about him sharing an experience, and
Yeah.
so he's not going to degrade. He's not going to degrade the food when he's sharing. Here's an experience that a lot of people like because it's obviously a busy diner, right? So
No, it's busy diner because they're filming there. They make sure it's filled
no,
out.
no, they pick busy diners to begin with. They don't go to a
No, I
dead
went to a
diner.
few diners that he went to in Massachusetts, and they are not that good, and they're pretty empty. And there were a few diners that he went to that closed down.
All right.
Well,
Yeah.
that's the same thing with
That's-
Gordon Ramsay and Kitchen Nightmares. He's been
No,
to a
that's-
few places, and those places have closed down too.
Yeah,
Well,
that's the nature. That's the nature of restaurants.
That's the nature of the
Most-
business, though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
most
they
of them
get tired of
close.
doing it. They work all the fucking time. They want to quit. But fuck it.
Like honestly, like being a restaurant owner is something. It has to be more of a passion process because if you're going to get rich, it's very rare, and you're pretty much working from month to month to keep doors open.
I hate to tell you, if you're doing a good job, food industry is like a guarantee because everybody had to eat, right? If you're doing a good job, if you suck to
Yes.
start with, yeah, you're not gonna last. But
So, like like Tony, you know, in New York City, there's 50 million restaurants, and there are some really good places that get really good reviews, and you go there a year later, and they're shut down.
a lot of reviews are
They
not
have
true,
to
though.
have a system.
A lot of reviews not
Restaurants
true.
are fucking real estate. They've got to have some sort of system.
Yeah.
That's why Benihana's is so fucking famous.
And you
They
gotta,
gotta have a system, and they don't need a huge ass menu. They get a bit too big of a menu, and they can't keep the shit fresh, and that's when it goes downhill.
there's
Now,
a reason why
I
most
would-
immigrants come to the
Why do you think
U.S. and they
fucking-
work in a restaurant because restaurants are almost like a guarantee.
Why do you
So-
think In-N-Out is so fucking popular? They only have like one fucking burger.
So I would say this. So, like, when you're in the chain restaurant business, you're not in this. You're more in the real estate business than anything else. You gotta understand that. Like,
No, you're in
it's like McDonald's.
franchising business. You're getting, you're getting the franchise. They don't care if they don't do good. If they don't do good, they still have to pay your franchise fee.
Yeah. So like, also all they care about is like Benihana, place like that. All they care about is just getting they're getting their restaurants in places. It's like the Cheesecake Factory.
Yeah, exactly.
Like if you have a mall, they want to be in there.
You know, Cheesecake
So that-
Factory was a Harvard project.
That's crazy.
It was a student project from Harvard Business.
Okay.
That actually succeeded.
I've only seen one fast food restaurant ever, like the McDonald's and Times Square closed down recently, but the Dallas BBQ stay open, the Applebee's stay open, and it's one other restaurant over there. The Shake Shack stayed open.
Oh yeah, McDonald's is McDonald's also a franchise. McDonald's franchise rules are ridiculous. Ridiculous. And McDonald's franchise fees are high too. So
I believe it. I believe it.
plus he was
But-
that neat band Smash Mouth. I don't know what that is about.
The lead singer of Smash Mouth and Guy Fieri look similar.
Yeah, they have the same haircut.
Oh.
Yes, Albert.
Yeah.
Did y'all see the Cigars Daily interview with Steve Saka?
Which one? He have done many.
Yeah,
No, last Sunday.
Today,
No.
I have not watched it. What about it?
he was talking about the question has to do with like what's going to happen in 2023 with cigars,
Okay.
and the big thing was there's an abundance of cigars right now.
There is
Because
abundance
they-
of cigars?
Yeah, they ramped up production. But then also prices of cigars are going to go up.
That we knew. Yep.
yeah, but they
Yeah,
go up
and-
every year. They go up every year.
Oh, they go
Yeah,
up every 4 months. They go up.
No, that's usually once a year. There's price increases.
Price increases.
Yeah,
They
but
also
that's no
said
secret
that-
though.
Yeah. Well, just not what he said, man. You're just saying that he thought that there, because there's an abundance of cigars, there probably will be some deals that shops can get to try to maybe pass it down to the consumer. So
He's trying to expand is what he's
So
trying
are
to
they
do.
trying to say that it's gonna be cheaper? It's gonna be more expensive. That's like a double thing, you know. It's like
it
No,
was
so
kind of weird. Yeah, it was kind of weird. And he also said that small cigar companies trying to come out are not going to do that great.
it's
Well-
tough competition. Yeah.
Well, I think the one thing that Sock is very honest about is he always says like in the last maybe 5 years, he said him like he was on a podcast today with these 3 girls, and he said that in the last 5 years there must have been at least 300 new cigar companies that opened.
Yeah.
Like
You know,
cigar brand company or cigar retailer company.
cigar brands.
cigar brands.
There is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they and most the life cycle of most brand new ones is about 18 months, and he is very correct about that.
Yeah, a lot of them I haven't never heard of, so I wouldn't know because I don't think I know 300 brands. So
Well, but that's the thing. It's like they can't get into the shops, and they can't produce as much as these bigger companies, and they're not as known.
Well, that's because they're already established.
Yeah, you're gonna have a
no,
lot of
I
capital.
think it has to do with whether or not they are good at advertising and they get it out there, right? There's got to be the right people that you got to know. There's got to be the right, you know, how do I say that? The right routes to get the things in. You gotta, you know, you have to be out there advertising. You can't just go like, oh, I want to put it in your shop. I want to put it in your shop, without establishing a brand, right? And this is somehow I don't know why, you know, because like something like I said it again, Roja was like exploded from nowhere, right? It's because they have the right people and they have the know-how, and they definitely went out there and advertised the shit out of it. Well, I mean, not advertise, but promote the shit out of it. So that's what any business had to do, right? It's not just cigar shop, just not cigar brand, but everybody had to do that. If you don't do that, you just expect that if you have brand new cigar, it's gonna go somewhere. You're not gonna succeed. That's not how it works, right? Because the shop is not gonna bring you your cigar without knowing that it's gonna sell. Yes, Albert.
So what you do, right? Get a little bit of capital and go buy up all these little startups, stockpile that shit, and then that's how you do it.
It's a complicated
release them
process.
as
And
lost and
Basically,
found.
you short the new cigar companies ain't gonna make it.
Right?
Give them back some of their money, and then you got all these fucking cigars. Yeah, that's how you do it.
Well,
Usually
yeah,
I'm-
to start any business, you gotta have sufficient capital. You can't just say, "Hey, I'm gonna do it," and then start there to make a bunch of cigars and then don't have.
start with an idea. You gotta start with an idea. I'm just saying.
I saw something.
I'm seeing these companies, these cigar companies, selling to these little cigar, people wanting to make their little cigar companies, knowing they can't get into the shops. There's your opportunity, man. I'm telling you.
Any business out there that you're thinking to start at all, get a consultant.
All right.
I'm just saying, get a consultant, all right? Because if the consultant can rip the shit out of your plan, that means your plans are not good, and it's most likely gonna fail. It's better to spend that money to get a consultant than thinking that you're gonna succeed because everybody else did.
I'm just
put it out there.
spitballing. I'm saying there's product out there that can probably be bought.
The
There
point
was,
is what you got to do with the product that you bought.
Well, I know. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 5 more people on this that can bring up some ideas, man. So get talking, people. Let's go.
So going along with what Albert said, I remember watching some video where you had 2 produce stands that were right next to each other.
Mhm.
They keep raising the prices up on each other because they're right next to each other. And then finally, one of the guys, he put a sign up, and then he stopped.
Well, they
for a
lowered the
second,
price. They lowered the price.
They lower the price to
Notice-
compete. Yeah.
And then
Well, yeah,
finally
they
one
lowered the
buys
price.
the others.
They lowered the price, and then one guy was like, "I'm gonna buy all of your inventory, all of it,"
And then put
he
his
bought
price
that
even
guy
higher,
out,
yeah.
and then put his price. Boom! Now
That's
I'm the
it.
only one.
That is the definition of a monopoly.
Right.
You force the other company out, and then you become the only one, so you can set your own prices.
Right.
Which I don't really want to bring it back, but that's Sanji, yeah.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Well, if you don't talk about price
Here
for
we go.
eight, it's two different worlds. When you're talking about a socket stick is $17, you got an $8 stick. It's two different lanes.
We're not talking about that. We're talking about how people can short out the other company by forcing their price to a point where they cannot sustain. But now let's not go
No,
back there.
but I'm not like forcing them. No, it won't be a forced thing. It would just be
No, it will be forced because
Hey,
he's talking
no.
about two produce selling the same thing.
no. He's talking about something different. I'm saying somebody can clean up those cigars. You know what are they going to do? Buy the cigars back from them?
He's talking about being like a capitalist, a capital investor,
Mhm.
where you're buying up all those companies.
But yeah, but like one of the reasons for those cigars to fail is most likely because those cigars ain't good.
Not necessarily because if they can't get into the shops, they can't be sold.
Right, but then
It's a perfectly
if
good
your
cigar.
cigar is that good and you go to a cigar shop, there might be a
No.
business plan that can be worked out.
But you still have to get into these cigar shops, and some of the and we all know these cigar shop owners are not the brightest bulbs in the chandelier. You know
Right,
what I
but
mean?
don't you think that if you have a good cigar, you go to a good cigar shop and the cigar shop owner agrees, had to agree that this cigar is absolutely great, it's gonna sell, he'll carry it?
Val?
Not always. No. See, because what happens a lot of times, the shops, you can try the cigar. The cigar is great, whatever. There's no brand recognition at all,
Yeah.
and so they don't want to do the footwork to turn people onto something new, and so they'll just turn
Well,
it down.
that obviously there's other part that which I talk about, which is you have to promote it, right? You have to promote it. So there's the multiple part. But if you're talking about the product by itself, if the product is good, you're already halfway there.
Not necessarily.
Well, you might be halfway there, but you're still not. But you're still a long ways from it, though.
Sure. But if the product's not good, it doesn't matter how much you promote it. Go to every single shop. You're not gonna go anywhere.
But I'm not talking about that. Yeah, you don't want to buy that shit. You want to buy a good cigar.
Right. So
you
when
have to
you
test
gotta
them.
go out there and buy a good cigar, if they believe the product is good, it will be a lot harder to short it. Right?
If they aren't doing the footwork and they're getting tired of it, and they want their money back.
I think that's very different. That's why, like, as a consultant, I'll tell you that's for sure. Like, a lot of people have good product, but they fail to promote it.
Well, it's promotion, but also too, it's getting customers to trust your product. As far as them,
that has to do with promotion. I hate to tell you, it has to do with promotion.
Just trying your stick.
There is such thing called mere exposure effect. Okay, that is true and scientifically proven. So if you promote it enough, somebody will go buy it.
So, as far as companies like the new companies I can think of that from right now, like what are like Blackbird, Founders. Mike, you help me out here. Companies that came out in the last like 3 years.
Black Star Line.
5 years.
There's no thing. See, that's still relatively short. Cuevas has only been out 5 years.
Yeah, so like you have so many different companies that came out, and you gotta understand too, like Founders, they're not in a lot of shops.
No.
In a business sense, okay, I'm talking to this from experience, okay, because I do this for a living. I do this for a living, okay. For a product to succeed, the product itself does not necessarily have to be good, so long as you can promote the shit out of it. Promotion actually worth more than the product itself. I can, like one of those the stupid pillow, my pillow. That pillow is shit, but you gotta see it all the time. And mere exposure effect will make you say, you know what, I'm gonna get one to try.
Yes.
Right. So that promotion is most of the work. Your product, if it's good, you can still succeed, but you're only halfway there. But if you can promote the shit out of it, you will succeed. There's so many gag shit that is not worth your penny, but because you see it so often, that you will end up buying it.
You got to try it.
Okay, so promotion is actually majority of the work, and that will go with the cigar. And this is why those famous people who's of anybody, at all came from whatever brand that come out and just start their brand, even if the product is not that good, you'll buy it to support it just to see what it is. Okay, that's how it works. This is from experience, mere exposure effect. If I got a client that has shit product, I tell them to promote the shit out of it.
Yeah.
Michael's laughing.
I'm like laughing.
No,
On
but
the
like, you know,
inside.
yeah, I'll take your opinion on it. What you want to say about it, Michael?
No. Promotion is, I mean, there's a lot of gag stuff, but that's the problem. Okay, the cigar market's different because you can promote it all you want and you get people to latch onto it, but there's got to be some sort of quality to the product or else it's going to fall flat in a short amount of time.
Sure, but then if you already got to a certain point, then you can work to correct your product. Okay,
True.
so for example, Rocky Patel, not all their cigars are good. A lot of their cigars are kind of bad.
Yeah.
But because they promote a lot of it, you see it everywhere, you go try it. And even though we know, like, what's that thing called? Magic Toast, 1 out of 1 out of 10 not good. People will still buy them.
Yeah.
And, that's the example of good promotion. You got used to it, and you kind of come to expect that a certain amount of it is going to be bad. You'll still continue to buy it. So it's kind of weird of social science, but it does work.
It's like McDonald's sucks, but people eat it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because they promote it and then put this image that the kids must have it. So enough of that, you kind of get hypnotized.
Sucks.
No. They put fucking play places in there, and that's why.
Yeah, it's like In-N-Out.
They
In-N-Out
attract
sucks,
people.
but people still love it.
Majority of the McDonald's no longer have a play
terrible.
place. Majority of McDonald's has removed that because kids get sick playing those ball pools and shit.
What is this, Tony?
They don't have any ball pools anymore.
Say that
It's all
again?
like exercise stuff. And
Hey
What
Albert,
is it?
how can you not smoke in the red, Albert?
I already
is
smoked
that?
it, man.
What'd you think?
I smoked it Wednesday. What is it? You sent this to me, Tony.
Okay.
I did?
that,
Yeah.
I honestly can tell you I have no idea.
Okay.
that I know what that is. That is the Grand Habano. Where's Michael? He'll know which one it is.
No, because I don't have any of those. I'm sure I don't have those. Persian King, that's not it. Persian King has
Persian
a
King,
shaggy
that's
foot.
what I thought as well.
Persian King has a shaggy foot, and that's not a shaggy foot. That's a closed foot.
It's got a pigtail or no?
No. I honestly don't remember what that is. But it's not Grand
That
Habano
is,
because I smoked all of those that I bought.
I could have sworn it was the
I
Grand
wasn't
Habano
a fan
because
of the red.
it has the that cap. It's not like a shaggy foot, right? It's just the end is a lighter shade. Right, Albert?
Yep.
Like,
Yeah,
I
it's
think,
a,
as
Grand
far as
Habano.
I know, I smoke all the Persian Kings. I don't have any of those.
Okay, hold on. It's just it's got a Connecticut wrapper that sticks out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Persian King.
But I don't have any more Persian
Mhm.
King left, so that couldn't be. There could be something similar, but it's not
That's-
Persian King.
That's what that is. That's a.
It doesn't have a
Unless it's
pigtail
one
as
he
a
has
cap,
sitting
though.
around.
Robusto?
It does not have a pigtail.
Okay, well then that would not be a Persian King because those are Toro only.
Mhm.
All right.
I
didn't
just
like
don't
the
remember
red
what
one.
that is.
It was mild.
That's what I did.
It kind of that graham, I guess what they're calling graham cracker. It wasn't. It was okay. I mean, I smoked it, but
I
like the
probably
black
bought
better.
that from one of the shop as one of their house blend or something like that. I can't remember what it is,
all right.
but I know for sure I don't have any more Persian King.
Those are actually pretty good.
Persian King?
I like that one.
Yeah. And my only complaint was that why is the king not wearing anything? That's it,
That's always been my thing too. I don't get it.
right? Because I think that cigar is not bad. My only complaint on that cigar, if you go back to watch the old episode, is that why is it not wrapped with the band?
My other complaint with that cigar is it comes in a box of 50.
Well, good thing I bought
Wow.
that as a sampler pack. I think I remember that's what I did.
They do pretty good with rugs, man. Persia does. They're pretty
Very
good.
good, I tell you.
Yeah, they do.
Persia's not even a
though.
fucking. Persia's
But
not a
you can only
country or
get
an
them at the
empire anymore.
Gulf.
Okay. So somebody had to kind of answer my question about Christian again or Catholic.
What do you want to know? Okay, let me do this time because I wasn't on last time. What was it?
Because
Go
I was
ahead.
talking to my wife about. My wife was talking about how there's a Korean show. All right, and let me just give you the background. The Korean show talk about for the lack of a good description, he's a demon king. Okay, and he selects his wife. There's someone that's fated to be his wife. All right. So he did found a wife who is 16 years old. She's like high school or something like that. But in the end, she died. All right. So he waited for her to reincarnate after falling in love with her. Waited for her to reincarnate. 200 years later, she comes back and she had her memory, so she comes to the guy because she fell in love with the guy. And a lot of people are complaining about that being like, I can't watch this show because it's like teaching, grooming little girls to marry you, blah 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 blah. Right? And then, whoosh, I'm like, 16 years old is not that bad. In terms of Asian culture, you can get married at 13 back in the days. Because that story sets up back in the days, right? Because it's a mythological thing. I was like, why is people making that big deal about it? Because like Virgin Mary, once you have kids, she's already married to somebody and had a kid. And then once you look at her age, I think she was 13 or 14 when she had her kid.
Yeah, she's 14.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll talk about Easter, and that's when like Jesus Christ was carrying the thing and then got there and died, right?
Okay, what do you want to know? Because there's some other stuff about Easter that's not right, but go ahead.
Right, but then he died and then he kind of revived, and that's when the religion kind of started, right? Because before nobody believed that. That's correct, right? That part of it is correct.
That he died and
he arose.
Yeah.
Now Easter is only 4 days. Good Friday.
Okay.
3.
Okay, so he rose in 3 days after he was crucified. The days that everybody celebrates is not right because it's based on pagan calendar stuff.
So he raised after 3 days.
3 days, yes.
Somehow I think it's 6 days. Okay, but
no, it's 3 days. No, Passover 7 days. The Last Supper was on the last day of the Passover Seder. And then that's how they knew about when nowadays to do Easter because he was crucified at the end of Passover and then rose 3 days after.
Okay, so
6 days.
did Last Supper happen before or after he died?
What was it?
Before he died.
The Last Supper happened before his crucifixion or after?
But before he was crucified.
Before.
So he's already had followers before he was crucified.
Oh yeah, he had a lot of. He had his main 12 apostles. He had a lot of followers.
So my wife's question was, what happens after he raised from the dead?
So once he was resurrected, he came back and he talked to a select few, and then he went to heaven. And then the apostles went and still continued to spread the ministry and all that. And that's why they all ended up getting killed.
Okay, so after he arose from the dead 3 days later, he spent how long to talk to those people?
Several days.
Several days.
So several days later, he died.
No. Tony, no. When he got crucified. When he was resurrected in the flesh to show. There's a whole lot that goes into the Bible to show that once he comes back for his second coming, all the bodies that have been buried and dead will come back. You'll have your final judgment, and then there will be a new heaven and earth. There will be a new heaven on earth. It's going to be a new kingdom. All these other things.
So he continued to live on.
He's in heaven. Technically, he's a spirit.
No, but then like in reality, because there is actually a tomb for him, right?
Yes.
So he have kids too, right?
No.
So why do people say that he have kids?
Because that's a conspiracy theory. Because they try to say that Mary of Magdalene was his wife, and they had kids and all these things. And no,
yeah, it's a theory. Yeah.
The only lineage would be if Mary and Joseph had any more children and been brothers and sisters. That's what the Da Vinci Code's like based off of and all that shit.
So Jesus himself did not have any descendants and did not get married.
He had a brother.
John the Baptist was his cousin.
No, he had a brother too.
So I was talking
That's
to my
it, that's
wife
it.
about this. I was like,
Don't
know,
Google that.
as a
Don't
religion,
Google
it makes sense. And don't take this personally, okay? This is just me having a
No, you're good.
casual chat with my wife, all right? Because I think some people
Right.
watch this is gonna burn me to death and put me on the stake. But I was like, there is no way for somebody 13-year-old to give birth and call themselves Virgin Mary and have people to decide to give you gold and shit. All right, so whoever gave him stuff probably slept with Mary.
Tony, there's no difference between people believing in reincarnation.
Say that again.
There's no difference than people believing like that with reincarnation. You know what I mean? It's no different in a faith, because I don't think
I understand that.
reincarnation makes
I
any
understand that.
sense.
But if that was to happen, right? Somebody has impregnated her and then tried to cover it up with gold.
No, that's a little blasphemously sacrilege. Yeah. So okay, Tony, do you not understand like the principle of the virgin birth and all that?
Well, I was so from what I comprehended was that one day all of a sudden she God blessed her with a kid to spread the word. That was
Okay, I'll give you the shotgun blast version. So at the beginning of the Bible, when God creates Adam and Eve and all that stuff, and you have the original sin with the serpent and eating of the forbidden fruit and all that, okay?
Mhm.
He kicks him out of the Garden of Eden. He cursed humanity, essentially, is what it is. Is like women will suffer through childbirth and all this other stuff. So we're all technically born, since we're born through the flesh, we're born with what they call original sin.
Okay.
Okay. So now, since God, it depends on how you believe it. I'm going to say I believe in the Trinity. So God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit are all in one, but whatever. So he manifests a man, okay, not born with the seed of a man. It's born with spirit. So he impregnates her, born with the spirit, so that when he is born, he's born as flesh, but he is totally clean, because he was not. It was not an intercourse.
It was not conception. Yeah.
Immaculate conception that way. So that way he is born clean of sin, lives his perfect life for 33 years, and then gets crucified. So it's incarnating people that he died to atone for the sins and all these things. So we can have atonement through his ultimate sacrifice of him being sacrificed to people as flesh.
So what you're saying is like the term Virgin Mary does not really imply that she's virgin.
No, she was a virgin, because she was a pure. She had not known a man's touch before she was in.
But she was Mary at that time, right? It was Mary and what, Joseph?
Yeah, she was married to Joseph.
So after she married Joseph, she stayed. Oh, poor Joseph. But anyways, yeah, she stayed clean.
Yes, well, until afterwards, I'm sure they had kids after the fact, but there's not really any really any documentation of that. But
because all right, good. Again, this is just casual talk. My wife's like, how is that possible for in a real reality sense for that to happen? Because if something happens and then they create a religion to fit that story afterwards, sure. But how could that actually happen? She's like, did Virgin Mary just go out there, sit somewhere, and set on sperm or something like that?
No, it's faith. It's faith.
Well, you got to remember, King Henry VIII rewrote the whole Bible.
And how
No.
How does the three king knows that to give things to her?
Okay, so that was another divine intervention thing. So they were told they were told
astronomers. They were astronomers.
Yeah, they were told where to go. Yes, they were. There were three kings, the three wise men. They were told where to go, and followed the Star of David and all that stuff to
Bethlehem,
where he was born. Yeah, to Bethlehem, where he was born.
And that's all they give her. They give her gold and nothing else.
Gold, frankincense, and myrrh. Gold, frankincense, and myrrh.
Okay, all right. So that's the question. What is myrrh?
It's like a fragrance.
Yeah, it's kind of like a potpourri kind of thing. It was something that was very, very rare.
Because my wife said, "Is that lubricant?"
Oh
No.
Because she Googled it and it says, sometimes used as lubricant.
Well, it's
If
pretty
you
good
were
in oil.
myrrh.
If it was
It's
an oil, I'd be thinking,
it's an oil. It's like it's a fragrance.
Right.
Like,
but
yeah,
it's
oil
oil.
was-
Yeah.
yeah.
She's like, is that
Yeah,
lubricant?
like-
And I was like, I don't know. I don't know why they will give it that because in you
So-
know.
If you go to the Muslim shops, they'll have fragrances.
And this is why
yeah.
that conversation came from because it feels like, and again, not religiously, but in reality, you know, if you talk about in the reality sense, right? Somebody slept with a girl, give her gold and lubricant to cover it up, or scents to cover it up. It sounds horrible, but like, you know, sometimes you try to make sense of a religion, right? And that's the only way that could happen.
Right.
That's her question. See how like sometimes the question is just not appropriate. I can't ask because if I ask, I'll get burned on the stake.
No, it's not. I mean, if you're truly, I mean, there's nothing wrong with being truly ignorant of all of it.
Well, I'm not being truly ignorant about it, and I'm trying to find an
No,
explanation.
I'm saying no, and I'm saying you're ignorant of like no, I'm saying you're
Not
ignorant
knowing.
of the whole belief in the story.
And I tried to find the
Got
story
it.
so I can explain to her because I don't know that religion well, right? I just know that it did happen. I don't know the timeline what happened. And she asked me what happened to Jesus Christ afterwards. Well, from what I heard, he continued to live on, and then he died, and then they made a tomb for him. So, because they did find a tomb for him or something like that.
Yeah, they found a tomb where it does say Yeshua of Joseph of Nazareth.
Right.
Ooh.
So, despite of that, whether or not it's a conspiracy, I've tried to find a reasonable thing to explain to her because I don't know how he died or whatever. You say he just disappeared. Basically, he went back to heaven.
Well, he went to heaven because that was it was a whole explanation of what he was doing and why and all that.
Mm.
Science, how stuff work. Am I supposed to read that? All right.
if you want to, I mean, you know,
All right.
And I'll say I won't go into the whole story, but the painting of eggs and the Easter Bunny and all that is really bad. When you find the real story of it, it's crazy.
Mm.
Oh, okay. That's what Murray is. Okay. All right. So yeah, I mean, I'm trying to find an explanation so that my wife can better know the story because obviously we don't know. Like I don't know what came first. Like so, for example, I don't know that turn water into wine thing happened before or after.
That's before. So that when he first started collecting and appointing his disciples, they were at a wedding, and they went to this big wedding, and the wine ran out because they didn't have enough for the wedding, and so his mom Mary, she tells him, she's like, hey, help him out. Essentially is what she said. She's like, help him out. And so he takes it and has him fill all the pitchers, these big pitchers full of water, and he turns them to wine. And so they have wine for the wedding, the rest of the wedding reception.
and when they drink the wine, it's like, hey, this is not the wine what you save for later. This is like the first wine.
This is the best wine. Yeah.
The best
Because usually they give the best wine first because everybody's drunk later and they give them the cheap crap. But it was so good that they saved the best wine for last for us.
Okay. So when my wife asked me that, I said, I don't know when the timeline happened, but if you were to tell me that Jesus Christ got hanged and he come back to life, he goes to water and put his hand in there, yeah, it's gonna dye the water red. And because back in the day, waters are pretty nasty. Water in the little pool of things, they might have enzyme and stuff that which cause it to ferment or whatever. That could taste like wine. And that's probably why they say, when you go to church, this is Jesus' blood now, and give you wine, and this is Jesus' flesh, and give you.
No, so the whole it's a euphemism. So breaking bread, was a tradition and just a social thing. That's when you were sitting down with friends, you're breaking bread, you're having dinner with them because they're like family.
Right, but why would they say that is Jesus' flesh?
Okay, so it's a euphemistic thing. At the Last Supper, that's when he tells him he breaks the bread with them and he's all, eat this for this is my body, for this is my flesh, and
Flesh.
drink the wine, for this is my blood. So what it is, it's him, because it was leading up to him being crucified and sacrificing himself for humanity.
So he know he was gonna get crucified.
Right.
Yeah.
So all the
Oh,
stuff
yeah.
that happens in the New Testament is only 3 years.
Yeah, and he was. It ties in. It's the symbolic of that, like when you sacrifice the lamb,
Mm-hmm.
right? You atone for sins back in the Old Testament.
Yeah, Old Testament was that way.
They ate the lamb. Like the priest ate the lamb.
Mm-hmm.
So he's saying you don't now the priest don't have to eat the lamb. You're gonna eat the lamb now. Like,
Yeah, so you become your own. You became your own. You become your own way of atonement through Jesus, instead of, because old school, when they had to do something, when they did something wrong and they had to atone for their sins, they had to sacrifice a lamb. That was the thing, that
Dude,
do a
they go
sacrificial
in
offering.
and offer it to the priest. Then the priest goes behind the curtain and talks to God.
Yeah.
On your behalf.
So so essentially it was like they had in the Bible there's 613 commandments, right? You have the 10 commandments everybody knows, but there's 613 everybody had to abide by in the Jewish faith in Judaism. Okay. And
Right.
so they took, and because they were getting essentially so full of themselves and so pious about what they were doing, they kept adding on more things and getting much more stringent on what people could and couldn't do, and they were assuming power only for themselves and not sharing a lot of the stuff with the people. And so it was like a radical push to be like, no, everybody needs to know. It's this new way of going about it through atonement, and that's what he was kind of like a political leader at the time. Like he really shook shit up.
Can I play devil's advocate for a second?
Sure.
Yeah.
So how do we know that Jesus didn't set up the whole thing where he was like, yo, say this is water. All right, yo, bring out the wine real quick. Bring out the wine. He touches it. Nobody sees him. Nobody sees him switch it out. Brings out the wine, touches the wine, says, yo, I turn water into wine.
I don't know.
That's called having no faith.
I know how.
But like the problem there
I don't
at the
know.
time was that there was not. No, let me finish
ahead.
before you get the answer, right? Because you probably had the good answer. I have the bad answer. But then the question is like, they already run out of wine, so obviously there's not enough wine to be there to start with.
Well, no, but he may have had some in the back stashed. He told his disciples
Enough to feed,
yo,
enough to feed everyone.
He had just gotten there that day.
listen, you never know.
Plus, dude, he was like a poor carpenter, dude.
Yeah.
Somehow I
It was-
remember
it
the
was-
way it was
somehow,
told to me is
some way-
that he touched clear water and it turned to wine. So it has to be clear
Because-
first and then turn to red.
Yes.
So maybe he had a couple barrels there. He had one barrel that was water, and he touched, and then he went up. It's like, yo, this is
But
water.
he touched it in
He
front of
opened up
everybody,
another one.
He
and he
wasn't-
turned red. That was the
He
story.
wasn't in the class of people that could provide for a banquet, dude.
Hey, he said he kept bringing out fish and all this other kind of stuff too.
No. That's a totally different thing. That was a sermon. That was the Sermon on the Mount. That was a totally different thing.
All
But
right,
even
going back to
then-
this though. Okay. At the time he was crucified, how old is he?
33.
33.
So what he did for 33 years before that?
Okay,
30.
so after they it's about 13 is when we lose track of like any kind of explanation where Jesus was. So after they went to and lived in Egypt for quite a while, and then they came back to the Holy Land. And so by the time he comes back to the Holy Land, he's 30.
So between 13 and 30, there was no information.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, nobody really knows.
So I think between 13 and 30, he went with the alien in Egypt and learned their secret art and came back.
Stop it.
Yo, he came back a magician.
He
Stop
learned
it.
all the Egyptian magic and come back and you're like, yo,
Stop.
oh my god.
There's wait, this is not a YouTube live thing. If you ever want to go deep into this, it'll take me about 45 minutes or an hour, but I got a lot of explanations for a lot of it.
But here's the thing though, right? Here's the thing. So he took 3 years to convince that he's the son of God. to people?
No. He was helping spread the word. He didn't do that right away. He
It was
didn't.
leading up.
He was leading up to it, and once he went back to his hometown of Nazareth, when he really started shaking stuff up, he told the Pharisees, which are the priests, when they were asking him, because they had heard he had been doing miracles and spreading all this stuff. The actual words he uses in the Bible is "I am the I am," because they were asking about the prophecies about this Messiah that was going to come, and he's essentially telling them, "Yeah, I am that guy," and they were like, "Oh my goodness, you're blasphemous." And so that's when he really pissed everybody off.
And that's why they want to crucify him.
Yeah, but there was thousands of people coming to see him, seeing him actual perform miracles. And that's the thing that's kind of hard, because the Bible is the most consistently accurate, and a lot of it with archaeological proof as well, written material that has lasted throughout time.
Okay.
So
it
here's
wasn't
my
that
question.
bad. It wasn't that bad. I just wanted to get the timeline so that I can explain to my wife what happened, because obviously she's like, "You went to Christian school." It's like, I learned nothing. I was forbid to drink the drink that they have and then eat the bread they have. I was forbid to do that because it didn't taste like Pringles.
So let's have a little fun now. How come they portray Jesus as having blonde hair and blue eyes in pictures and also in movies?
Because that's the European rendition got widespread once the Catholic Church took over everything in the 1500s. That's when they really spread everything. Because he was Semitic, so he would have been kind of. He looked like a little Jewish guy. He was a good Jewish guy about my height, is what he would have looked like.
Like that. Well, I think he would like homie from 7-Eleven.
No. He was Semitic. You got to remember, he was Jewish, so he was Middle Eastern. So he would have been a little bit darker skin, Jewish guy, curly hair, curly beard. Yeah. He was about my height.
Yeah.
Why does it have to be about your height, Michael?
The average size of the Semitic people at the time, the Jews, most of the men were between 5'4" and 5'6".
But back in the day, the measurements are different.
No. That's converted to now from the cubits. Yeah.
Okay. Well, at least I got answer from my wife. I can tell her the story, where the timeline goes. So, so what was he doing between birth to 13 then?
Then birth to 13, they were in Egypt for part of it. And that's where he was going into temples and learning the Torah and the Toma and all these other things.
But if he's I am, why does he need to learn?
Because he had to. He's not going to necessarily be born with all this inherent knowledge of this. He still had to go. So you have to learn the language of the people, right? I know he's God and all that stuff if you want to go with that route, but he still had to learn everything. And
plus he was experiencing humanity as we would experience it.
Yeah, so because he had to have a reason to where it's relatable to people, right? So it's going to be relatable that way.
But if he was in heaven this whole time, you will be able to observe human all this time.
It's different living a fleshly life, and it had to be a man, right? He had to be a man so that he could talk to people. Because people aren't going to believe. People aren't just going to go. He's not going to show up at like 33 years old from heaven and be like, "Okay, I'm here." No.
Right. I'm saying that he should be born with that knowledge already because he had observed from heaven, right? Because that's what God does. He observed human from heaven.
Right. But he went out to the desert, I think at 30, right? He went out to the desert.
Yeah.
And was tempted for, I forget how many days it was.
40
days and 40 nights.
Yeah. So he was put through the ringer of not being able to eat and drink and all that stuff. And then he was tempted to like, okay, I'll relieve you of your
the devil tells him the devil tells him he's all you have to do is bow down to me. You can turn the stone to bread. Do it. Bow down to me. You can have all the pleasures of this earth. And he tells him no.
Okay, so he can survive 40 days and 40 nights no food.
Yeah,
but he gets steak and he dies.
He knew that was going to happen.
eat steak and die.
I've got a
He
question.
got steak.
No, when he gets nailed to the cross. No, he knew that was going to
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah, he had to do that.
But he died.
Yeah, he had to.
Yeah, you have to. Because, okay, so instead of sacrificing a lamb, that's why they call Jesus both the lamb and the
Mhm.
lion. He was the lamb being sacrificed for humanity to be able to atone for your sins and have a path to
Blameless.
heaven through him.
He was blameless.
But like
Mhm.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like if you have all the
He
superpower,
overcome
he
temptation.
can heal wounds and cure diseases. But
Tony, are you not getting the symbology? Because he had to explain to them why they're going from Old Testament and having to sacrifice lambs and all this other crap to New Testament, where you don't have to make these essentially archaic sacrifices, because he is being the ultimate lamb sacrifice of flesh, spilling the blood for all humanity.
right, I understand that.
It's a symbolism, so people have something to see, because people are visual, right?
Okay.
Visual and tangible. So it's
Michael.
one of those things. God understands humanity. Yes, go ahead.
Why didn't
I got a
anybody bury
question.
him?
They did. That's where he was in a tomb for 3 days. That's where the Shroud of Turin came from. So he was covered
No,
up.
I'm
with,
pretty sure he will not be able to rise from the dead if he was buried 6 feet down.
No, he was in a tomb. It was like a cave.
Right, so he walk out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like if
Well,
you
he
had
would
buried
walk
him
out.
underground, he would have.
No, he didn't walk out. He didn't walk out.
No, he
didn't
didn't.
walk out of the cave. He moved a stone out from the cave.
Yeah, there was a giant stone that he had to roll away and get out of there.
That's what I'm saying. Like if he was 6 feet down, he probably wouldn't be able to do that.
Well,
Go ahead, Martin.
He wouldn't be able to get out of the stone either, right?
Yeah.
But
So,
they had him.
Michael,
Go ahead. Sorry.
so Michael, you know my my whole questioning from my childhood.
Yeah.
And this is kind of a little sidetracked, but I know you believe in reincarnation.
I don't, but that's okay.
How was it? Well, I mean, I know you
I
understand.
know about it. Yeah, I know about it.
But basically, how is it that these children are being born in a form to where they represent God and they are like a representation of everything that happened in the past, and they are
Yeah, they have the
like,
memories and all that stuff. They have the information.
right.
Yeah, that is
How is
all.
it as a child can do that?
That is all of. I mean, it's a long thing, but that is all of the devil of this deception.
So it's not
Because
really-
anybody, no, because it says in the scripture that anybody that claims to have all of this knowledge, right? Okay, if they don't proclaim as Jesus Christ being Lord and Savior, and that is the one path to true salvation, then they are not. They're essentially false. They're of the devil.
So I have a question. So,
Yeah.
how many times do you think the Bible was changed up before it actually got to King Henry?
No,
Because-
King
because-
James. No, King James. So
Yeah,
what
King
happened?
James.
Okay, so what happened is you know about the Dead Sea Scrolls and all that.
Mm.
So the ESV version, which is the English Standard Version, and a couple of other versions of the Bible, those have been transcribed from mostly Greek, because most of the Bible was written in Greek, Latin, and Aramaic. Right? That's all these scrolls were. They're all a one-for-one translation from the Dead Sea Scrolls to what we have today. The King James Version was written in Old English, and there were certain things that were omitted and changed to fit his personal
Mhm.
like endeavors. Yeah, so that's why I don't like the King James Version. It's not accurate.
Oh, Val, you've been quiet, Val. You sound like you.
I'm just listening to this. Yeah.
So the
Okay.
question, all right, go back to he was like stuck in stone in a tomb, and the stone is there.
Yeah.
Don't you think that he would have learned how to move those stones because he went to Egypt? Because Egypt built some serious
No,
thing
no,
with
he,
stones.
no, he did move it because that's how we got out of there.
Right.
Stones-
So
stones-
Yeah, there was a centurion guard there.
what about it?
who fell asleep.
Yeah, like
There-
he
there
would
was-
know
there-
how to lift heavy stones because Egypt was building their pyramid.
There,
They
there
know how
was-
to build.
there was
heavy
a witness to this happening. They were not building any more pyramids because the Jews had already been gone for a really long time.
Right, but that technology is there to how to move those stones in secret.
Well, so
Good point.
a lot of conspiracies saying that Jesus was pretty much the uprising to the Jews because of the fact that of the taxes. And
Kind
he felt like that the people should have to pay no more taxes, so they pretty much got the Romans to come in.
No. Said no. The Romans were imposing the taxes. That's why the render unto Caesar what is Caesar's. That's essentially obey the law of the land. Okay, so he was not concerned with what Rome was doing. He told everybody that he's not concerned with what they're doing. He was concerned with what the Pharisees and the Jews were doing, of essentially oppressing the people and having a monopoly over everything that was happening. Because they weren't paying taxes to the Jews. They were paying taxes to the Romans.
So yeah, I think Jesus went to Egypt and learned their secret technology before they came over.
His beef was with the televangelists.
She had the Kenneth Copelands of the world and shit.
Really was.
Now, just a quick question.
Yeah.
So, do you guys have Israelites in Dallas?
I have
There's
no idea.
there's Jews everywhere, bro.
No, Israelites. So the Israelites.
No, the black Israelites. I'm sorry, I'm gonna disagree with you. That is not a real thing.
I'm not saying it is a real thing, but I was asking if you guys have them.
And I'm sure they do.
So okay, going back to cigars, Rob said that he have not had a Rocky Patel, but I enjoyed. But that okay, he does not have a Rocky Patel he enjoyed, but that was the first brand name he knew about.
That was a long time ago that he wrote that, but
Yeah, the 1990 and the
recommend.
Decade are both pretty decent.
I would recommend
1980 is
that.
pretty good.
1990 is still one of my favorite Rocky Patels.
That's when they came out. Rocky Patel came out, apparently.
One when he said one of the first brand name, right? Like technically, like if you go to any regular shop that has any heritage brands, wouldn't that usually first thing you learn was Oliva, Gurkha, Rocky Patel, and Ashton?
Oh yeah,
Mm-mm.
yeah.
Rocky
All
Patel
the
was one of the
heritage- all
first
the heritage
brands. Rocky Patel was one of the first brands, and then San Cristobal was one of the first brands. I even heard of Drew Estate, but it was like the Ligas that were the really popular ones when I first started smoking cigars, which was about 11, 12 years ago.
So 12 years ago, you did not see any of those other ones like Ashton and.
No, I
Oliva.
saw it. There were a ton of
Right, so that's
name
why I
brand
say
cigars.
what would be the first brand name you technically know, because when you walked in,
But
every shop
Rocky
had like
Patel.
everywhere.
Rocky Patel had a shit ton of cigars, and the 1990s were like I was trying out a bunch of different Rocky Patels, and the 1990 was one that I was like, damn, this is really fucking good.
But the Stone thing, right? He's in this tomb, right? He's in this tomb, and so he's got the spear in his side. He's got the nails going through his wrist and his ankles, or his feet, whatever.
Yeah.
Probably his feet at that point.
Yeah.
I mean, if I get an ingrown toenail, man, I'm limping,
But yeah,
And
like
so-
but then that's kind of different story. Once you learn the Egyptian secrets,
No, I
everything
get
can be
it.
done.
And that's
I
fine.
mean, that's a different story,
So-
Tony.
All right, so you got a pole in there, you can lever. I got a lever, you can get rid of it, right? Then you got to deal with that badass guard out front.
Yeah, so there was a Centurion guard that he walked right by.
How does that work?
But it's a human guard, right?
Yeah.
So he walked right by this guy, and that guy was there to guard the tomb.
He just
Yeah,
let him
he-
go. So okay.
He basically lost his life that day, right?
Well,
He
if you see a
basically-
dead person walking on a tomb, you'll be shocked and not do anything too.
I agree, and so that's the point, right? His job was to take care of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't
So-
think that any guy would like, okay, I'm gonna guard this tomb and expect anybody to walk out of it.
I think the guard was up there so that his body was not taken. Not
Right.
I agree.
guarded,
I
but
agree.
it wasn't taken.
I agree.
So
but,
if his job
but-
is like make sure the body's not taken, he technically don't do anything if he just walks out by himself. It's not taken. He walked out.
Yeah,
It's
but
just
his buddies,
it's the point of it.
buddies put him up on the cross, right?
Mm.
So there's that.
It's the whole point. It's the whole point of it that it was another eyewitness to this occurring.
Okay, but that doesn't explain that he used Egyptian technology to open up the tomb.
Stop it. That's a whole different discussion. That's a very long discussion.
We don't have time for that.
Scientifically, when they hit him with the spear, water came out.
So what water came out?
So because what they did is at the end of when he was being crucified, he was up there. They wanted to make sure that he would die, and so they pierced him with a spear through his ribs. And when they pulled it out, water came out.
But had water not come out, they probably would have broke his legs.
Yeah, that's what they did to people.
Water
Like
came out. So they're like,
water
okay,
came
his
out.
blood dry. Basically, the scientist saying he's no blood left.
I don't know. I'm just saying.
Because if I pierce somebody and water came out, I make sure go John Wick and then put 2 more
I
bullets.
think like blood and water, I think was what it was. But the point was, it's a long process. You basically, when you're crucified, it's basically suffocation. You wind up, you wind up suffocating because
because your arms and your shoulders give out, and so the way when your arms go up like that, it ends up suffocating you.
Right, and so it's a real long process. But they wanted to get it over with.
But his foot is also nailed in.
Yeah.
Correct.
So he's slumped down.
So he cannot go down because he.
No, he did. No, because there's a block. So what it is, there's a block underneath where his feet were, and they nailed they nailed through his feet into the cross. They nailed through his wrists into the cross, and so no, you'll naturally slump down. It doesn't matter if your legs are held up or not.
You're gonna slump down, but you could kind of hold yourself up and breathe, right? Because your leg, you can still kind of push up and try to breathe. So they would have broke his legs had they pierced him in the side, and it probably just would have been blood. They probably would have gone ahead and broke his legs.
So why is everybody making those crosses with Jesus Christ on it, but there's only hands and the leg, but nothing on the chest?
No, there's it's on the side right here. Is where he got pierced his rib.
Yeah,
it's on the side.
Yeah. They went up through his rib from underneath.
I'm just looking it up. So.
Yeah. And that's the story of it. I mean, I'm not,
Oh, yeah, there is a wound there.
Yeah.
Wow. I learned something today. Oh, some of them don't. Some of them does.
No, but the ones that are, it's an accurate portrayal of the crucifixion. That's why it has it on it. Like he was pretty marred up and really bad because they whipped him with a cat of 9 tails and all kinds of other crap.
It's amazing to carry the wood that big too, walking around. So.
Well, he did for like a short time, and then some other dude carried it for him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, so he didn't carry it all the way.
No,
they made him help him. Yeah, they made another guy help him.
Because taking too long.
Pretty much is what it was because he was kept collapsing with it, and so.
And he was as tall as Michael.
Yeah,
that sounds like a problem.
But with God's power, he should be able to carry that all the way without taking.
That's the whole point.
That sounds like a problem if you carry wood too long.
He denied. He basically
over 6 hours. Seek a doctor.
But that makes it even more powerful. Is that he denied himself access to that power.
Yeah, it's a true sacrifice. Because even when he's up there, he could have done whatever, but he still says he's forgive them for they know not what they do. These people that are persecuting him, right? So it's the thing. Right. It's just the ultimate sacrifice of anything you could do. It's still turning your other cheek when they're killing you.
Okay, all right.
Tony, have you ever seen Passion of the Christ?
No.
It's good.
Yeah, you should watch it.
Watch it.
I tried and I'm not gonna lie, I fall asleep in 2 minutes. So
yeah,
it's an accurate depiction.
It's a pretty accurate of everything.
Didn't that movie?
I couldn't watch that.
Words,
it was too much.
It's
I watched the first couple minutes. I was like, I can't watch it.
No, dude, that was okay. Let me say this. This was one of the only movies that I actually fucking cried to. No shit.
I can't watch somebody get tortured like that. It's too much.
I fucking watched
you don't get to say it. You can't even watch
during
Spider, so move on.
I'm just saying, it was just too much.
Do you use your spider pen, Innocent?
Wow. He's too scared of it. What? Too scared of it. Wow. Wow.
Do I need to send you another one, buddy?
Oh shit.
I'll wait another 6 months for it. All right.
Oh, my
shit.
God.
Oh
So you
shit.
don't use it? You don't use it?
I use it.
All right.
Every day he's just like,
We should
For
get,
I'm gonna
Halloween,
use
for
it.
Halloween.
No, put it down.
we should get Innocent a spider ring.
Ah, that
Yeah.
sounds pretty good. Put a spider in the ring.
Hey, let's buy
Yep.
those. Like, let's buy those little plastic ones you put on your.
So I have a story for you. So
Okay.
my son put. So Innocent played tree. He goes, "Dad, help, help!" He's screaming for life and death, and I run over there, and he has this big ass spider, like a toy spider. It was Dad. I ran out the house so fast, and he's sitting there laughing. He had the beat of a lifetime that day.
Innocent, I lose respect for you every time you talk about stuff like this.
Listen, I can't deal with it, man. Those motherfuckers are just. Listen, you know they can swim.
Yeah,
some,
there ain't
some
no-
came. Not all of them. Some came.
There ain't no
It don't matter.
animal.
It doesn't matter which ones can. They can swim.
Well, some of them can
That's a-
fly. Some of them can fly.
See, and y'all talking about, oh, they're good for the earth. No, get rid of them.
No, they are definitely good for
Get
the
rid of
earth.
Yeah.
They'll get for
There's
nothing.
no animal. There's no animal that I would literally fucking run away from. I might get fucking like spooked, but my fucking
Spider is not an
fight
animal.
action, my fight gets activated, and I'm like fucking trying to kill it.
a spider is an insect. It's an arachnid, sir.
Yeah, it's not animal. But anyway,
But you know what I
1108.
mean.
1108, everybody, go to tribal. Have a good night, everybody. Oh my god, that was a good story, but yeah, have a good night.
Oh
Go
my
to
God.
tribal. Bye, guys.
All right,
That was
tribal,
a terrible story. That was traumatizing.
tribal.
Oh, look at that. I might as well fix that too. Too big. There you go.